The
I feel like that video is a real cool.
What?
I feel like that video is very cool. How long do you have that video set for?
Like 45 seconds. I also cannot hear a word you're saying.
Hello?
There you go.
there we go.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I love that for me.
1 strike already. 2 more and I gotta boot you out. You know the rules.
You do this to me every time.
You know the rules.
I don't remember where these rules were written in stone.
Exactly. But you know them.
That's not how this
you,
works.
You get 2 more strikes. Or I
Where
have
are
to
my
kick
10
you
commandments written in the stone?
everywhere.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see shit.
Exactly.
Well, whatever. We are here today for a special live episode.
Yes.
It is I, your host, Sam the Man Cosplay. And that's
Yep.
it. It's just me. It's just me and Christy down here.
You know I have all the power, right?
Uh-huh.
Sure, you guys like to think so.
Yeah, uh-huh. I just let you believe that.
Right, of course.
Yeah, just to save your ego.
Got it. Got it. Because that's the high point.
Exactly.
So, but yes, it's like Sam said, we're here doing a special live show, which we do, we do them when we can. We gotta save them for special occasions, so we don't spoil you guys.
No.
But we're not alone, as always, because, you guys can see it. We're not alone. We're joined by Christie Shinn, or a.k.a. the Demon Bitch. And again, I'm sure a lot of people like, geez, dude, like, chill out. I didn't write that name. That was there. So, just saying. But we're here to go over a Kickstarter you got going on right now for a series called The Demon Bitch. So, I guess right off the bat, how do you come up, how does that concept come to fruition when you're like, yes, this?
You kind of hate a person at first. There were a couple girls, when I first moved to LA, there were a couple girls that, you meet people, they're assholes or something. They turn out to be assholes. And some of them I knew that were kind of models. I say models in quotes because I have friends that are models and actors, so I don't want to disrespect them. But these would be quote unquote models that would go around and fucking snort coke and be a general pain in the ass and use people and just do varying stupid things. And I just saw how people treated each other stupidly. So Demon Bitch became kind of like an allegory of these people that just fucked around and did stupid things all the time. So it's my commentary on it.
Mm-hmm.
One person starts screaming, my ass, my ass, my ass, because that person would constantly talk about her ass all the time. I'm like, man, but it's just making fun of the absurdity in people and just really hating on that. So with Demon Bitch, it's kind of cathartic because I've been told all things like she's sex positive to women really need this. I'm like, hey, why not? Right. I just wrote through a pissed off comic.
Yeah. It was I was just kind of wanted to be like, hey, everything sucks. And so here, because I know when I was reading over the Kickstarter, you put a lot of stuff about how COVID really sucked. And I thought one of the things that was funny when you were people were like, why don't you show us the good sign in the Kickstarter description? You just told them to go buy a Hallmark card.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was getting kind of annoyed with people. The thing is that it's not that I don't believe there isn't any good in people, but we kind of made these stupid ass artifices about everything. Oh, you should just forget about it. And I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm not going to just forget about it. And it doesn't mean I'm going to go to the person's house and egg their shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of you get just annoyed at that shit. Oh, well, you should just ignore that person. I ignore that person. Oh, wait, no, I fucking am bothered. And I'm just going to tell you to ignore them because I want to ignore them. It's no, and it's not the same person. It's just their own shit. And I thought that was fucking bullshit for a while. And I just draw on that because it's I'm not going to go and fucking lie to myself about how pissed off I feel about the situation or how I think this person is awful. Do I believe in all the high things forgiveness and all that? I do, but you need to work to yourself out of it. Don't just do this fake ass shit. That's the thing what I hate about not in Demon Bitch, but in our society. It's look, if you really don't like somebody, fucking just admit it to yourself. It's okay. If you want to crash and burn, that's great too. I mean, I'm not advocating you go and do awful things, but it's just all the people that told me just get over my shit now love my comic. So I find that ironic,
Right.
It helps people. It's because I have people face up to the shit that bothers them. And that's my main thing in this society. We don't really face up to shit that bothers us. You know?
No, it's like it's easier just to be like, well, that's like I'm just gonna pretend that doesn't exist and move on.
I
But
mean, that
I
only
know
gets
my
you
life.
so yeah, that only gets you so far. I'm not saying that, sometimes you can disregard things, but it's just like when you do it and you're stuffing it down yourself about your own situation, but you tell other people to do it, it's like it's clearly not working for you. I mean, why the fuck are
right,
you saying this shit, to me? Like I think after, because I was talking to you guys before the show of my near death experience, it's like that made me just not deal with bullshit anymore. And
Right.
getting older, you're just kind of like, I'm old and I'm crabby, fuck off. Like, I
yeah,
don't
I
want to
didn't.
deal with your stupid shit right now. Just
Yeah,
just stop
I
jawing at me because I'm just not in the mood for it.
yeah, I didn't really have like a near death experience, but Sam knows like some stuff that happened a couple years ago. Like literally, I went from like having somewhat of a filter to like literally just
Open his
zero.
mouth.
Right. So like I like and it literally has gotten to the point where like well I've still do some stuff, Sam, where like whenever people try the classic like, well I don't know if I'm that interested. I've literally told like people now that I've like been talking to, I'm like, then just fuck off. Like I don't have time to waste on wishy washy bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm busy, I got shit to do.
I
Like
got a son to care for.
if you can't hop on the train and stay on it, then fuck off. Like get your shit together.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people are just like, you don't have to be so rude about it. And I'm like, what do you want? Like, I don't got time. like,
You can't
yeah. It's like
hop
don't
on the train and stay on it. Fuck off.
yeah,
I think
like
that's his favorite one out there tonight.
I've just been told repeatedly now. It's like, oh, you should get over things. You shouldn't do this, and like, you should just forget about it. I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm not forgetting about it. I
yeah,
mean, but the
no,
thing is that like, okay, fine. I want to talk about it, and you don't have to hear me talk about it. That's fine. But it's sort of like, I get annoyed with people that just tell me, oh, you should just get over it, and then they're clearly not fucking get over it.
yeah.
Hmm.
When people bring up stuff that you legitimately have just like moved on from, you're like, I don't get it. You're telling me to not talk about it, but you're the one bringing it up to me. Like, what exactly do you want me to do here?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm gonna get ready to bring up the Kickstarter here so we can take a look at stuff. But I know we've talked to a few people that are running Kickstarters before, and usually uh, people are sometimes kind of like overwhelmed with what goes into a Kickstarter. I know you did one before that was pretty successful. Did that make everything kind of easier for you because you kind of knew what to expect, or since this one's more scaled up, did you kind of like run into anything that you were like, son of a bitch?
Any
Well,
troubles?
this has actually been running better than what I thought, and I'll tell you why. The other ones were smaller amounts, so they funded faster. This one is the largest amount I've ever asked, but I tend to go like 600 or 700, 800 more than what I went the last time. So what I did was is that so when I ran the Kickstarter, my very first one fucked up and failed. Like I knew about it, but I didn't know all the nuances that make it successful. Like somebody,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm going to run a Kickstarter. What do? It's like first of all, you write it way the fuck in advance. You promote the shit out of it for a month and a half. Like you have people following that fucker, and then
Mm-hmm.
you go and do the other thing. So for me, like it's been funding really fucking good for what I consider it to be. And for me, it's like I think because I've done 5 and 4, the one that I failed in, and then the next ones I did, and they were the six successful ones. So I've done. I think this is my fourth one. I'm also kind of tired because I just came back from WonderCon, and you learn to give yourself enough time. Like I know I'm going to be a very busy fucker this next 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm kind of like, no, I'm going to give myself 45 days because fuck this shit. I'm not going to go.
Right? Yeah.
Like if I do it 30 days, like one person asked me, oh, you're gonna put 70 grand, you're gonna ask for 70 grand. I said, no, 7 grand. I'm not at that point of 70 grand. Like you have to look at Kickstarter as building your base, right?
Right.
So it's kind of funny because how interviews kind of fell in line and all these, like, I shit you not, like I even had an article, let me find it actually and put it up, but it's kind of crazy. Like there's one, maybe I'll forward it to Mark because it's on my
Yeah.
phone. And what was crazy about it was that this just got given to my attention today. And I swear to God, it was like crazy. Here, I forwarded it to you. It was nuts
Okay.
because it was just like, it's
Pull it up.
called The Beat. And I guess they're pretty well known. And they fucking found my Kickstarter. I guess they found it on some fucking rabbit hole. And then now they're promoting it. And I'm like, damn, that was crazy. I've been on several shows to promote it and everything. And it's been pretty nuts too.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't get over that. It's just like things are falling into place for it. And so like I think I'm trying to remember when I entered into WonderCon. I think like I jumped up 5 percentage points due to somebody dropping a deuce, essentially like a huge pledge. And then over the next 3 days, I got like $300 pledges, like three, not $100, but $300.
Oh, right.
I mean, some days were more or less, but on the average, so I try to aim for $100 a day. So it's kind of like I learned in Kickstarter. Yes, there's stress, but you have to just do a mental marathon. Yeah, enough time. Like some people are like, well, they want to do like days and days and days. Like we want to do it 10, 15 days. It's like, no, you're going to want to kill yourself afterwards. Like, unless if you're fucking like DC or Image or any of those fuckers, like, you can fund pretty fast, but even then, and they can ask for tens of thousands of dollars at this point. But for me, it's like, like $1,000 per person or $1,000 every several $1,000s. I mean, that's not shabby for an individual, but you got to build up to that 20 grand, 30.
Right.
Like I have
you want kind of people knowing that the Kickstarters are continuously successful and you're churning out what you say you're going to do and kind of just like building the brand loyalty a little bit.
Yeah, and also like for right now, you have to kind of adjust during the times. Like people now can do add-ons with Kickstarter, which is really helpful. But there's like little nuances in that too, that if you don't implement them, it's kind of shitty and impossible. But other than that, it's like I'm very happy with how it's going. I mean, do I want the thing to fund in 24 hours? Oh, hell yeah, I do. I really do. That's just me. But yeah. So, but somebody wrote an article on it. And what I do, one of my selling points is that I write offensive notes to people like after they pledged. And I don't like doing the copying pasting. That shit annoys me too. Like it's like, hello, blah blah blah. It's like I don't care, whatever. Go move forward.
Right.
So like when people go and so for example, one guy like pledged X amount of money, and I said, oh, thank you, thank you for fucking doing that. I said now I get to throw the bitch out of my house, stuff like that. So it's like I say just really rude things and stuff, but people seem to like it.
That's so funny.
I think it's just it brings like a realism, like than just being like kind of like a fake. Thanks for donating money to my Kickstarter. Please check out these other projects, and you're like, oh, thanks for the auto response.
Right.
Like, it's the same thing. Like if I message anyone on any social media platform and I immediately get a response within 5 seconds. And it's thanks for the follow. Please check out these. I immediately unfollow or unsubscribe or whatever it is.
Not doing that.
I'm not. I don't do auto stuff.
The wallet text.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, it's just heartfelt and thought out. Well,
yeah.
Throw the link in there and you can see how fucked up it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. So I have everything pulled up. Also, I'm gonna bring up your article first because I know you just sent that one.
Yeah, it was really funny. Like people just like get what they get out of Demon Bitch. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So was Demon Bitch in itself the first kind of like big project you kind of like from start to finish designed, or did you have like other like kind of comic ideas and this was the first like what was kind of like your process in getting to Demon Bitch?
Personally, for Demon Bitch, I just started drawing fucking fucked up cartoons. Then I decided to publish my book. And then people liked it that much, so I did another one, and that's when I decided to kickstart the second book. Second book did well. And then third book and fourth book. So I'm pretty happy about it. So let's see. Second book, third book, fourth book. And I think this is the fourth book that I'm kickstarting now. The last one was Alcoholics and Anonymous. And that was like Water for Chocolate, except Water for Chocolate is a good book. That one sucked because it has really fucked up alcohol recipes in there. And I actually drank some of those, and they were fucking disgusting.
Oof.
But they're made with alcohol.
I'll try some drinks, but what's like the worst one you tried?
Oh god, there was like the Demon Bitch cocktail. Like I kind of love and hate that one because it's supposed to look like a cup of semen and smell pungent, but it kind of tastes like pickle juice.
What?
Yeah, that's what I exactly said. It tastes like pickle juice, but it smells pungent and it looks like a cup of semen. That's how my friend designed it as.
That sounds like a very Cash Money time.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, my friend and I, Lawrence and I, we just sat through and we drank through all of those fucking things.
All of them?
All of them. in the book.
Jesus.
Now this one is like 137 pages of bullshit, so it's just going to have all the artwork I've ever drawn during COVID, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, plus like ton of Demon Bitch, and the images on there is actually there's Zorlita Bellamy's work, Mary Zorlita Bellamy,
Uh-huh.
and that's her prints, that exclusive prints she's going to sign and all that. And then we've got the Demon Bitchy pins or Tamabitchy pins.
Oh, I
And then,
saw
like,
those.
yeah. So you got those, and then we have the Tiki Patch and sticker, and that's
Uh-huh.
offered too. And then Mary also designed Animu Demon, and so it was like this little clasp, like with a star clasp, and you just hang it off your purse. She'll probably steal
Oh,
money from you, but yeah,
that sounds nice.
yeah.
I had how did you, I know why you started doing this. How did you design the character Demon Bitch? Like, what was your thought process on that?
I think when I looked at her, the people that she was designed off of, like one person was really fucking bone white, but she looked like she smelled of sour milk. So I decided to draw like her body in the most sausagey, like she was a bony ass bitch. So I just decided to like fucking just make fun of it. So I just drew
Uh-huh.
sausage like body squeezed into a pair of fetish pants because we ran into people that did look like that, some like wannabe goths and shit. And then the fucking electrical tape, I just did it. So it's like I'm trying to grasp the concept. Is there a line demon bitch won't cross or is anything? Everything's fair game, dude. Everything. I think Justin probably wants to look at the Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's what I got it pulled up here so I can kind of like cycle through some of the
Yeah.
stuff here.
Yeah, but it's shit that I've seen people do, and it's just like the thing with the interview, like where I mean, in like my life, where it says, "See, you don't have the friends that I have. I have real friends," and basically she's about to jump in a pit full of alligators. They're like, "Do it, dude."
Yeah.
It's like the fucking idiots that make you like do stupid shit on the internet because they egg you on.
Right.
We don't know what that's like, right, Sam?
No.
But
We've
it's
never
like,
done.
but it's like with Demon Bitch. I think we've all been guilty of it in some form or another.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm 100% aboard now. Oh yeah, I don't hold back.
Justin.
Yeah, Justin, come on in, and I'll send you a rude ass note.
I know Justin, so he's not kidding.
And then we're doing a Demon Bitch game. Hopefully that'll be released in July. We're doing the first level, so we're working on the programming bit of it, and it'll be released for beta so people can test it.
Yeah. I think I read it was a card game?
It's actually kind of like a weird sort of card computer game. It's Demon Bitch and she's trying to get attention.
Oh.
Oh,
So she does
okay.
a ton of stupid shit to get attention. Like these are like people that like go to the extreme, like, oh, I hurt myself and everything, and I'm like, it's like I have a broken ankle, I have a compound fracture, and they take a picture of their foot. It's like, no, you sprained it. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
I've broken my ankle. It looks way different. Like they don't have the bruising that happens around your foot and everything. Because when
Right,
it breaks, it's pretty fucked up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and plus a compound fracture, you're not taking a picture, you're crying and
You're in the ER for a reason.
yeah, you're crying and you're at the hospital of just
What
in massive pain.
are we looking at, Mark?
Oh, sorry. My freaking screen brought up the wrong
like,
thing.
what are we doing?
No,
I
my
was like,
screen brought up
wow.
the wrong thing.
That's not how you like raid people on Twitch or something, whatever it's called.
Yeah, no, my monitor likes to be really weird with my second monitor,
Uh-huh.
and it'll randomly like switch my screens, and that's why I'm getting a new monitor because I don't know what's happening to this thing.
Got it.
Um,
Excuses.
Yeah, you know my computer. You've literally seen me wrestle with just. I don't understand the issues with this thing.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I know we have. I looked through this before, so I know you're doing a lot of different things with the Kickstarter. Now, what is like? Is there different things that are being with pledges? Like I know like the pins are going to be additional. Like what is like what's the kind of like the base level for the Kickstarter and what people can kind of get, and then like what's kind of like your ramp up for getting like some of the additional stuff going.
Well, I mean, we're offering. There's like each of them are a level, but the thing is now with Kickstarter, they can do add-ons. So it's not like making much of reward tiers anymore. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you want to get the book and the pin set, but you kind of want to get some digital rewards. You can add on to that as well. So instead of making a whole new tier for it, you can just add on. Like, let's say if you get the meat, you get the potatoes, you get like some veggies, right? You go into the quick buy aisle and I want some gum and all that other shit. That's the same
Right.
concept. So for me, what we're offering is the pin set. That's the Tamabichi pin set with the glow in the dark expressions. We had that Tamabichi as you have up there, the original art,
Yeah.
but that already got pledged for. So it's like we're not. It went so fast. I'm like, oh shit. So I went ahead and put up some more original art that people will probably that more terrible original art, and so people would want to have that. So they're add-ons as well as a tier of itself. But I just did singular ones, like just each one is its own reward. Obviously, you can add the other one, but I did another reward where all 6 of them were available to have together, so you didn't have to select all of them out.
Hey, is this when you broke your ankle?
Yeah. This is the compound fracture.
Compound fractures are really kind of messy and they look really painful. So it's like the person that I saw doing that's a compound fracture. It's like you twisted your foot because
Yeah.
on the thing is one of the compound fractures. Like I broke my ankle and the second arrow was pointing to the foot. I'm like, you don't know your anatomy, do you? You're an idiot. Like I've seen egregious shit. So it's like, that's why I kind of make fun of it.
Right. No, it's, oh man. You go to enough conventions and Sam, I mean, you just had your own little fun experience of the best one you've ever been to, right?
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, we've
Right.
already talked about that on here, though.
Yeah.
Oh, the drama at the conventions are great.
Yeah.
No, they really
Yeah.
are. They really are. That's why I bought a badge under Sam's name for next year. So she has
Shut
to go.
up. No, you didn't.
But you know I would.
Don't lie to these people.
Come on, they're our fans. They know perfectly well that I'm going to lie to them.
Uh-huh.
It's true. So when you're kind of like looking through different things for your Kickstarter, like assuming obviously this one's going to be successful and reaches its goal, do you have like already in your head plans for kind of the future for Demon Bitch, including the game, obviously, as you kind of expand on that? Obviously, stuff that you can talk about if there is stuff.
I mean, right now, the immediate thing is like, there's other stuff that is kind of in the pipes, but I don't want to say because it's so
Right.
nascent.
Mhm.
But, I'm just going to do more of Demon Bitch, more solving her at cons, I'm doing more Kickstarters to fund the printing and all this other stuff, like making my own merchandise about her. And, I'm also
Okay.
branching out into other things. Like I'm planning to do Sepulchre Volume 2. That is actually not humor. It's actually kind of a fucked up book, but it's about a woman whose husband tries to kill her to marry another woman, but he ends up fucking up. And so she loses her voice. So you have a completely silent heroine, and it's a revenge thing. And then I'm probably going to do a tarot deck Kickstarter with that. I did that kind of similar one with Demon Bitch as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that on that level.
The tarot deck?
The tarot deck, yeah. It's essentially called Shitty Tarot.
Oh.
It's not really a tarot deck. It's a Lenormand style deck. And the Lenormand style deck is a very active or very very well used deck, but it's not like the tarot where it's 78 cards. You have the major and minor arcana. You don't have that. It's like all major arcana. So Justin is asking, when designing a character, do you have an idea of what you want, or does it start with a doodle and evolve? I think of a ton of rage, and I have the image of the character in my head, Justin. So I kind of sit here and I'm like, wow, fuck this person. Or I got this image, like it's kind of like this image of go, and then I'll draw it. And then I'll be going, hey, this is awesome, and just do it. So that's how it is. So that's what I do in general.
Uh-huh.
So, sometimes I just get that image in my head and I just draw it out.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Justin, for being so active today.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he's got nothing else to do.
Oh, without that, man.
Can you throw the link in the chat too? Or
to which?
To the YouTube and the Facebook? I don't know. Sometimes people are able to.
Oh, yeah. It's usually just will show up live.
Oh, okay.
So people can kind of do it. So I was the My Little Pony thing threw me off. And
I
had
to
go back and read. I read through everything, and then I was like, wait, I must have glossed over something really quick.
Missed something.
That's what Mary has done. So she's like, sometimes I like to feature some of the artists, like what they've done, other projects they're known by. So what I did was I just did it's Adventures in Equestria. She worked on the card game for Hasbro. I'm not affiliated with Hasbro, but it's sort of like, oh, she's known for this,
Got it.
Yeah, I did that for Real Deal Comics too.
Okay. Yeah.
So was it not like, did you work with a lot of different people on Demon Bitch, or was it kind of a lot, some solo, some kind of group work, or what kind of like, what was your plan for looking for people for different projects?
For me, it was kind of interesting because the Kickstarter kind of evolves on its own thing. Like I tell people, yeah, I'm thinking of doing a Kickstarter. I need to publish this book. And then my certain set of artist friends will be just like, oh, I have an idea to do this to throw on your Kickstarter. I have an idea to do that on your Kickstarter. So my friends, Dallas and Connie, they're Hyde Hermit Studios. And they're sitting there and they're like, oh, okay, well, what we'll do is that we'll make this thing going on, this whatever. Like, they'll go, she had the idea for the Tamagotchi pins.
Uh-huh.
The two expressions like that were glow in the dark where she's pissed or not pissed, and she did original art for it, which was good. And then number two, there was Dallas, he loves tiki stuff, so he drew Demon Bitch the tiki style.
Uh-huh. With
And
the
then,
weenies in it, Demon Bitch's hand? Is that the one I'm looking at?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
he just drew it that way. He's got a very warped sense of drawing.
Uh-huh.
And he's kind of like it's kind of like I kind of call that picture like Too Bad Hot Dogs, because I was just remembering these guys that were eating like something gross, and it's like, this smells like hot dogs, like bad hot dogs, So like that thing stuck in my mind. I don't have a life after work, just a lot of aggressive masturbation to talk about. Gotta bail, Mark. Love your luxurious hair. Definitely checking out the Demon Bitch stuff when I get home. Good stuff. Thank you, dude.
Well, Mark would say bye if he could. He got caught up with something. But I'm probably sure Mark would just say, hey, you two. That sounds like something he'd say. But you can catch him on that later. I had another question.
Sure.
You have win a date with Demon Bitch.
Yes.
Can you describe that for me, please?
It is definitely something that kind of evolved on its own.
Uh-huh.
Somebody suggested that as a reward tier. And sometimes I listen to people and sometimes I don't. So this is one of the reasons why I did. And at first I said, oh, maybe I'll draw a sketch because you really don't want to go on a date with her. And one guy says, well, I'm not sure if you really wanted to be committed to this or not. And then another person wanted to get a date with Demon Bitch. I said, okay, fine. I'll draw you two on a fucking date. I don't know why you fucking want to date her, but okay.
Draw you two. I like how they're on the same date.
Yeah, and it's funny. Yeah, like she's doing fucking lines in front of a dude and it's like at a nice restaurant. She's like, what? So it's like Demon Bitch doing totally inappropriate, stupid, shitty things with people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I observe that a lot with people. It's kind of amazing.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to mention about the Kickstarter, or?
Well, it's got 31 days left.
Mm-hmm.
So the quicker I fund, the happier I'll be. And I want to get a hardcover done of Demon Bitch. So I lied, I'm interested in date with Demon Bitch, right? You can add that on too, buddy. But yeah, like, it's just like you can, and I think past a certain point with like the stretch goals, I actually do want to go and push it for maybe everybody get a thing of pasties and stuff like that too. So it's like, I lied. I'm interested in a date with Demon Bitch. Yeah, that's one of the rewards, dude. I will send that to you once I draw it up. And I think, yeah. So it's pretty funny on that level.
Oh, I think I'd enjoy that immensely.
Yeah, if it's one of the tiers, you're welcome to do it. You can add on to all the other stuff really there too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm pretty good with scheduling. I know it's been kind of wonky due to the shipping issues and paper issues, but I think it'll probably clear up pretty soon. I gave it like a month or two before, after the fact, because like Kickstarter will only will process it, at least in my experience, like everything within 14 days after the campaign's funds.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think everybody else said 3 to 4 weeks in general. And I print these through Amazon, so they're pretty quick.
Through Amazon?
Yeah, KDP. They have their own. They have their own printing and everything. I mean, I guess I could use a smaller printer, but Amazon usually has been very consistent in printing pretty fast. So I've just been going with that.
Oh, I didn't know Amazon can print your books for you.
They can. KDP.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you said you wanted to do a hardcover. So you're only selling paperbacks right now?
Paperbacks right now. But if we go and break 7,500, we can go for a hardcover.
Oh.
And you can pre-order for the hardcover in there. It's like $10 more.
Yeah, I'm looking Looking at all your rewards and pledges and everything right now.
Yeah.
I do enjoy some of these that are just like, hold on, I think it's the first one. Hopes and prayers.
Oh yeah, I just did that as an I lied to it. It's like I did that as a joke because sometimes
Mhm.
like you'll have people that just want to give a certain amount of money and they don't want to really fucking do anything about it.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, all right, give me a load of money. That's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
One less thing to send out. But I don't have a problem. And also, I personally sign the books, with the exception of the retailer package, because it's easier for me to ship it directly to the retailer. But
Yeah.
I always tell the retailer, like, if you're local, I will come up there, or if I happen to be your way, I will come up there and take care of it. Like, I'll go sign
Uh-huh.
the books.
Justin wants to know if children books are in the future.
I do actually sell some kids' books, but they're written with other writers. So
Uh-huh.
that was a page rate, but it was a children's book. The closest thing that I kind of had to a kid's book is Personal Monsters, and that's being sold in my store in general.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have an online store for prints and signed things. And
Uh-huh.
then the other one is basically apparel and other stuff that I do through Teespring. That's why I put up to my link tree, because they have the separate stores and I'm able to put them together.
Oh yes, let me quick open that one real quick. Hold on, copy. We'll slap that in the what tab am I on? This one.
Mhm.
I've got too many tabs open.
That's me too. That's my life. But yeah, Justin, I kind of have a kid's book now. I may work on a kid's book in the future. I don't think it's really affected anything that I've done about that.
Oh, well, guess I can't leave a comment. That's fine. I'll post it on the Facebook.
Mhm.
Okay, so now with done talking about the Kickstarter, what's I'm trying to think of the question correctly. Words are hard.
Yeah, I'm like that too after WonderCon. So I'm like,
Yeah, no, and again, I worked all day and now I'm like,
mhm.
doop, 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 doop. What are some things you like to do outside of doing Demon Bitch and things like this?
um, Demon Bitch. It's like I like drawing in general. I like
Mm-hmm.
working on art. And right now I sound absolutely fried, and I fucking am. I like working on comics. I'm actually a writer too, but it was
Mm-hmm.
weird. I kind of evolved myself into that because I used to write for myself. It wasn't like I did novels or anything. I would just write out stuff. But now I'm kind of like getting into more thing. Okay, I'm more of a creator. Not that artists are any less creators, but it's like
Right.
I'm beginning to write, and I'm realizing that I'm not too bad at it. So
Right. You're an overall creating instead of one specific like subcategory.
yeah, like I mean, that's the thing. It's like some people like they're writers and they can't draw, and other
Mm-hmm.
people are like artists and they're not into writing. And I
Mm-hmm.
never thought of myself that I'd ever be really a writer a lot of the time, because it's like, well, I prefer drawing. Like with the thing with Sepulchre One, let me see right here, Sepulchre One. It was like freaking. This is the first book I did, and I've created and written my own stories, but I
Uh-huh.
would just storyboard them out. So this was one big storyboard for me. But
Hmm.
the thing is that with the storyboard, what was really weird is that I just storyboarded all the way through. Then I didn't work on the thing for the next few years because I'm not a traditional writer generally.
Right.
And then the storyboard wasn't coming out. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. And then now I just did it. So I just wrote a bunch of shit. It's kind of like a script, a comic strip. I was kind of thinking I was over complicating the script in my head. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're at 42%, which is kind of amazing because I was at WonderCon. I did plug it. I did have a QR code, but it was kind of weird in a way because I was like, wow, this is the shit. Fandom effect, yes. So yeah. But I'll have probably I'll have like a fucking I probably will work on other things. I'm not closed off to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been pretty cool.
Sorry about that, but
This is too heavy.
that's pretty sweet.
Why did mommy let me carry this? This is too heavy.
Mark, it's too heavy for the
I
kid.
know. So one thing we always like to do.
I can put it on, but
We already we started talking about outside of the
Okay.
Kickstarter.
Okay, where am I at? Sorry, dad duty got pulled away.
That's fine. Christy was telling me that she evolved into a writer also.
Yeah, so it's like the writing
Oh, okay.
now. Yeah, it's kind of like writing words. Like I can write stuff. It's not that I can't write anything. It's just sort of like not something I was looking at or wanting to do or really thought of it as being a serious thing. But now it's becoming more of a serious thing, and I'm actually starting becoming to like this fucking shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have other writers that I'm working with for other projects, but it's interesting because, yeah, as an artist, you have to tell them or give them feedback. Okay, this doesn't make sense, and I've done that too.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, with the writers now, it's like we collaborate way more. So it's kind of
Right.
interesting. So it's like I'm coming from a writing perspective.
Yeah. Is
Mm-hmm.
there like a different struggle when you're working with like an artist or a writer at all?
Um, I think with an artist, you kind of like with me as an artist, I'm kind of the only artist on the project.
Uh-huh.
So that's not actually difficult for me personally. For me, I'm kind of like going with a writer. It's not even challenging for me either. I think I'm pretty verbose and eloquent enough, I guess if those are the right words, to actually
You fool
express
me.
what I need to do. Like one time we had the script of like there was a placement of the person in the room. I said, this doesn't make sense because it was the other way around. Why are you doing it this way? And they said, oh yeah, you're right. So, but it's more of like, what do you think? Like they'll give me the script and I'll read it. I said, I can, and if I can visualize really well what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we always kind of like to ask on personal experiences for if people are looking into doing whether it's Kickstarters or comics or drawing or writing or things like that. Since you've been getting into more of like the details of it, what would you kind of like say to other people is like the biggest thing to do to like get ready for a project like this?
Well, I mean, there's several steps that people don't think of. Thinking of familiarizing yourself with a Kickstarter process at the very least. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'd start a few months ahead of time and write your campaign at leisure, right? And fairly early on, get your thing approved. Nothing has been more embarrassing for people is that they think that you can just launch. No, you have to go through an approval process. They have to look at it. Yeah, they have to look at your Kickstarter and see like, does it fit all the criteria?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you kind of submit early ahead of time for approval. This will not launch it. Also, you need to start talking about it at least a month and a half in advance and have people follow it.
Right.
Because, once you basically activate it, it'll jump on and do whatever.
Yeah. How long does it take to get like approved?
Usually, in my experience, has been like maybe the next day or the next few days. But
Oh,
I would say
okay.
to people, do like 48 hours to a week. Like, give yourself that time.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was that I had mine approved way ahead of time. Just I followed like all the basic things, and then I went ahead and did it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I always like to know personally because it's like it's always curious to see what people's different kind of like thoughts
Yeah.
on the whole process was.
And have people look at your project, like just say, hey, review it or something. There's a special link that you can provide too.
Mm-hmm. To see
So
it before it launches.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Again,
Okay,
it's
that's smart.
yeah. I like to see it. There's a preview link, and then they can follow it if they want to, or if they
Hmm.
get feedback, or they say, hey, you could put this reward in here. I'm like, okay, sure. Like I used to back in the day before they had add-ins, my friend's wife, she would want certain things. So I'd make a special reward and bam, 2 to 3 other people fucking wanted to have the same reward. And they
Mm-hmm.
weren't cheap rewards. They were pretty expensive. Like actually, no, 3 to 4, 3 to 4.
No.
Oh, okay. So I know while I had to do things, Sam, when you guys talk about like you getting into writing. Now, I mentioned before we kind of would ask you what kind of like different things that you were into. So I don't know what to expect based on Demon Bitch. So I'm curious. What's like the guilty, not so much guilty pleasure fandoms,
Guilty
but kind of
pleasure.
like or guilty pleasure of just things that you're just a fan of, whether it's a book or comic or TV, movies, like whatever it might be.
I would think that sometimes what I like to do is to analyze people. I'm kind of weird that way. Like this behavior and that behavior. How does that do? I don't know how that computes. And people might think that's weird, but it's like it actually has helped like with writing and drawing and making expressions and things like that because you kind of
Mm-hmm.
break down what people do. I like reading, of course. I don't read. I read comics, but I also read serious books, obviously, but I like reading classics like Jane Eyre. Those are my favorite books. Jane Eyre, Lust for Life, Agony and the Ecstasy. Sometimes I'll read stuff on law, like international law, because
Oh.
yeah, I get kind of like the problem is that a lot of the news will talk about something important like abortion or anything, and they'll start going on this whole fucking thing. And then when you go and look at the docket, the case docket, it's like nothing at all what the news says. So I think, oh, you guys are idiots. That's not what it says. So actually looking at law, like for me, that's a fascinating thing because, people kind of let their realities be shifted by news media. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. But if you actually look at law, it's a completely different side, personally.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at the law, I get a better picture of what things are. And I don't freak out as much because some people just goddamn, like sometimes I'm like, okay, guys, shut up, That's actually helped me keep me sane too. Like reading law, and also just like I think my friends and I don't really play video games. I don't mind video games, and I have played video games, but I haven't found really any video games that I really like to integrate into too much lately. I mean, I've heard there's Elden Ring, and I haven't fucking gotten into that because I'm just like, I just don't feel like stuck at the computer all the time because I'm usually at the computer working on shit, and I just need to walk away.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't want to be there when you're trying to just like relax and do things if that's where you're
Yeah.
spending all your time.
I played it for 3 hours and yeeted myself off a cliff.
Really?
On a horse, and then just died. So
Was it even interesting? Because I heard that's the new game now, and I kind of don't give a shit.
I mean, I've never played a game like that before, because I was never really into like those kind of like
The Dark
have
Souls?
a 30 yeah, like have a 30-minute boss fight because that's how the game is designed,
Mm-hmm.
and die 10 times until you succeed.
Well, that sounds like fucking Dark Souls or
Yeah,
Bloodborne.
it's essentially the exact same thing. It's just it's like more open world, whereas like Dark Souls and them are like, hey, it's a pretty linear path from start to beginning of the game.
Yeah.
This is like huge wide open world, but someone gifted it to me and they were like, play Elden Ring, and I played it for a couple hours, died so many times, and I was like, I think I'll play this a couple times, but
And then we're done.
I don't want to spend 9 hours on a boss to beat it, to then be like, yay, now what?
Now what do I do?
I just spent 9 hours doing one thing.
Yeah. And I feel that way. Like, I like video games. It's not that I hate it. It's like, it's actually like, I do like video games, but I spend so much time on the fucking computer. It's kind of like movies, Sometimes people say, well, why don't you watch movies and shit? It's like, it's not that I hate movies. It's just that part of me that creates stuff gets taken up by the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't watch movies very much, and also I'm looking at a fucking monitor half the time. So it's like sometimes I'll just go out for a walk or work out. I mean, sometimes I'll just nap sometimes, and I know people are like, well, that's kind of a boring life. I said, no, seriously, sometimes I have to nap, so I switch modes.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's part of the reason why I'm going to be dead in like 3 years, is that I don't take naps and I just work. Sam knows. 3 years, right?
And
Or do we
I'll
say
be dead in 3 years.
Right? Yeah, it's fine. We've accepted it.
What, 3 years?
Well, all right, maybe 4 if I eat healthy, but
Make it an even 5.
make it an even 5.
You know what the best like convention like recovery is eating fucking spam and rice.
Spam.
Rice.
Yeah,
Okay,
like I fry the spam. Like it's I mean, my ethnicity is Korean. I didn't say this on the show, but I've talked to you guys about it. So like spam is not really a gross thing to me.
Uh-huh.
It's tasty. So it's like somehow it works out. Like if I'm like all fucked up from the convention, I'm hurting. Like literally I woke up and it felt like somebody punched my biceps right here. Like I was exhausted.
Yeah, I get the feeling.
Yeah. So it's like, damn. And so like, I just said, well, it's kind of like a sort of a hangover cure too. And like, I didn't like drink like to a point where I was totally shit faced last night, but we had a few drinks and then I drove home safely. So I was not drunk driving, just as a fucking whatever.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so I just got home and I just fucking crashed out. But then my brain wouldn't fucking let me sleep the whole night. So I woke up and went back to bed. But then I kept napping throughout the day today and then before today. And then I just ate for breakfast and lunch, like some spam and rice. I mean,
if you like that, more power to you.
I think what it is like the salt and the protein and the carbs just hit all at once. So you actually feel better. So it's quick energy.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Sam knows I rarely take naps. It's a pretty like, even when it's like a weekend and my son will actually go down for a nap, I'm very. It's just like, all right, I got some stuff I can work on or some stuff I can do. But like I told you earlier, it's just after work today, I just was like, I have to lay down. I'm literally so tired. I'm not going to be able to get through the rest of this day if I don't lay down for a little bit.
Mark
I mean,
is like a shark. If he stops moving, he'll die.
You'll die.
So if he stops working, he'll die. That's how I've recently discovered a way to describe Mark. Was he's like a shark.
Just constantly swimming, even when you're sleeping. Just that constant movement.
Uh-huh.
would you be a hammerhead or a great white or a tiger?
Yeah.
I feel like I'd have to be a hammerhead because I'm very stubborn.
God,
Where
I
it's
was going
like,
to say that.
Well, and also
everyone-
like the mouth, it's like
right. We're like, like when everyone acknowledges that, hey, you probably should relax, and you're like, no, there's no time.
well,
There's
I
more-
think that like I was like that for a long time, and then it's like today it's like I have no brain power right now. I'm friggin' tired. Like I got elected the president of CAPS, Coming Out Professional Society.
No.
So I have to actually write the newsletter out right now. Yeah, let me go and
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
And it's like sequential art, like a lot of people in the business. It was one of the main founders was Sergio Aragones. Aragones, he's grew and all that. And we're going into the 21st century and we want to revive it due to the fact that it was dormant for COVID for two fucking years, right? Like what are you gonna announce if you're not able to go to conventions?
Right.
So for me right now, I'm doing that. But we were trying to get back because California was really rigid in COVID. We're trying to do the hybridized thing because work also changed too for these people. So we're trying to do that, but we haven't had a chance to like get together and do it just yet. I mean, we have all the equipment. It sounds like everything's ready to go. We just need to do a test run. But I personally got so busy with WonderCon, because a lot of these people work WonderCon and other events. So this was not a great week. So I just have to release a newsletter today or sometime in the next couple of days, just letting people know what's going on.
Well, it sounds pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking at the link right now and trying to read up about it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird too because like they have a wiki page and I found out and they updated it. It's like I have a wiki page now, kind of.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just laughing because it's like I mean, I'm an underground comics person, and then I love punk rock, and here I am, the president of an established society. I'm like, this is funny.
Right.
I mean, it's just weird because it's like it's kind of like I just thought about maybe like I can do this. I ran for the office and I've got a great board of people that got elected and they're right on board.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So it's just like it's pushed out, and from what I've been getting feedback, it's been going really well. So I'm happy.
Oh, very nice. I think it just goes to show you, like it's like you said, it's sometimes you don't really expect some things to happen, but when you do put in some time to something, I mean, like you're gonna get stuff out of it if you just dedicate enough time to something. Like you'll get stuff back out of it. You just have to actually work at some stuff, and they expect that you're probably gonna fall on your face a couple times.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's also like when you work hard and you put it in, it comes back. It's
Right.
really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. Sam knows as she's been getting used to podcasting and
Yeah,
getting used to
I'm
people
the same way
again.
too right now. Like literally, I'm on my like current brain of like, yeah, I'm kind of functional. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't
Yeah. No, I think we're all just like you just get those days where you're like either you nap and you feel great or you nap and you're like I don't know where up is and
I have
where down
yawned
is.
10 times in the last 5 minutes. I'm so
Yeah.
tired.
I actually have another interview after this, which is
Oh, R.I.P.
it's not no. It's like just like literally pretty small, but it's at 5, and I just have to go record that. But it's like I don't know how I do it. It's kind of like my mouth is on autopilot. Like just
Right.
keep talking. Just keep going.
I was
Yeah.
I was tabling at WonderCon, so I did it for 3 fucking days.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really nice WonderCon for me, but still, it's like it takes energy interacting.
Oh
with people.
yeah. 3 days at a con, like whether you're working it or just you're at a con, is like it's exhausting. You don't like think about it, like, but when you wake up sore everywhere on Monday, and it makes no sense because you're like, all I did was walk or sit or
Yeah.
like pose for photos.
right.
Yeah.
But literally every part of me hurts.
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm kind of like at that moment where I'm just like sore and I feel kind of shitty, but it's just like more of like sometimes my mood gets shitty when I'm like tired. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like today's the day. Like I was thinking, oh, I should pick this up. I'm like, fucking, I don't really want to go anywhere. This is gonna wait till tomorrow. That's how I feel about it. It's just, but it's like I think you kind of realize how to kind of be nicer to yourself on that way. It's like you don't need to cram every fucking thing in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And,
Mm-hmm.
like especially like right now, it's like I'm not traditionally like tired. It's more of like I just am slow today. Like I'm
Right.
dormant. And then I got to pack up and like get ready for Gem State, which is this Saturday, and I'm flying out on Friday afternoon. So I'm gonna fly in first freaking day on Sunday because it's gonna be one day. I'm a guest there. But if you guys are in Idaho, I don't know how far it is from Wisconsin, but
Nope.
It's like 16 hours.
oh wow, damn.
Maybe.
Nope.
And I mean,
over.
again, it's like weird. You look in the U.S. map, and you're like going, "Oh, okay, that's going to take a while." And it's like you look at Illinois and Wisconsin. It's like, "Oh no, they're just kitty corner to each other." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was actually born in Chicago, but I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Sam's a lot closer to Chicago than I am.
I'm like an
Right.
hour, depending on how you hit the
Maybe.
traffic.
Yeah,
And you guys
it's
are in
like
Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
It's like 3 hours for me to hit the city.
Yeah, it's kind of like weird to me because it's like in California, we're like a long state. So it's
Right.
like some of my friends say, "Oh, you're in fucking like you're near close to San Francisco." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm fucking 5 hours away, dude,
Yeah.
Right.
in
You
Los
pretty much
Angeles." Yeah.
you pretty much end ask where you're from, and whatever state you say, like they're like, oh, you must be near the major city, right? Nope. There's a
No.
lot. There's other places in the state.
Yeah, like
Besides that one.
I'm in Wasanuga, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's weird because California is so big. Like the beginning in NorCal is like it's huge. Like one of my friends is from Humboldt, and that's like 2 or 3 hours north of frickin' San Francisco.
Right.
Oh dang.
I think it's like it's Humboldt County, not like Marin County is like closer, but then there's Humboldt. And then
Mhm.
here in LA, like we have a lot of other like there's LA County, which is huge, and then there's the LA Los Angeles proper, immediate city. But they call
Mhm.
all of it Los Angeles, but they'll call different things like okay, the Valley is this, and this. This is the South part of it, and I'm still getting used to it because I'm actually from NorCal myself.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Silicon Valley in the Bay Area. So that's kind of a different one for me. And then we have ones called the Peninsula. That's where my parents lived and everything. But we also lived in like North Bay. There's North Bay, South Bay on that level too. So it's
Mhm.
kind of weird. Like each area has its own defining moments. I mean,
Right.
like one of my friends is from Illinois. Excuse me.
No.
Bless you.
Yeah, allergies. My friend is from Illinois, and there's like we were talking, and I guess the subject of toilet came up. And like, oh, you mean fucking toilet? Yeah, that's like a treatment plant. I'm like, oh god. But there's Joylet, and it's like as I said, I moved away from Chicago when I was like 2.
Right.
I don't even remember it. I just remember
Mhm.
snow and just my house in a way, but
Right.
and that,
Yeah.
yeah.
The snow never stops.
What is the city you're going to in Idaho?
It's Boise.
Boy.
It can't.
That's the
It's gotta
capital.
be.
Boise, Idaho.
It's gotta be at least 16 hours.
That's what I'm googling. Hold on.
I would think it's gotta be like 16
See,
hours.
it's like weird with the Midwest. It's like Midwest, like either things are really close or they're super fucking far. Like
Yeah.
because I have friends in Texas, and I said, "Oh yeah, how far is Dallas away from this city?" And it's like, "Oh, it's fucking 8 hours because Dallas is Texas is
Yeah.
a huge ass state."
You could drive all day and still be in Texas.
Yeah,
You
We've
really
got family
could.
in Texas, and half our drive, because we drive everywhere, we hardly ever fly.
Yeah.
Most of our drive the second day is just all in Texas.
wow.
Yeah.
But,
Versus like Rhode Island, which I think takes an hour and a half to get
Mhm.
from one side to the other.
So I Googled it.
Yeah.
Driving, it would take 26 hours.
I was so wrong.
You were off by 10 whole hours.
I was off by so much.
Google is telling me it'll take a day and 2 hours.
Well, this is kind of crazy. Like I'm flying in, but it depends on where you are in California. So we've got
Right.
LAX, right? So it's a big airport, whatever.
Yeah.
So with LAX right there, so like it's easy for me. I can just drive like 30 minutes and be there, right? And go.
Mhm.
But one of the guys lives in a like Shasta in NorCal, and to even get to the closest airports in San Francisco, it's like an hour south. and then it'll be like a 3-hour layover and all this other shit, and it's just like he doesn't want to deal with it, so he's just going to drive straight to Idaho.
Jeez.
And that's like an 8 to 9 hour drive for him anyway. So that's
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I guess if your drive's like 9 hours and you're like with a layover, the flight's gonna take me 5. What's an extra? Just I'll save myself a few $100s and I'll just drive an extra 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, where he lives, it's kind of in the butt ass end. Like, I mean, in California, they do have airlines everywhere, but for me, what's closer is LAX. But I'm quick, it's LA. Go over there. By the way, bye, fly.
Yeah, and you're off. Yeah.
And it's like a major thing, but SFO, like that's gonna be a pain in the ass for him.
Right.
Because it's like over an hour or two to get even there, and then you gotta fly, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't know how long. I think it's about, because I have a layover in Oakland, so I think it's gonna be like, how far is it to fucking fly over to? I'm curious. I haven't really looked at it.
It's always odd when, like, as soon as you start wondering how long it takes to get from one place to the other, you start questioning, like, how
What
long
is
does it-
real?
Dude, yeah. What is reality?
Why does it take so long to drive through Illinois?
Why does it take so, like, also, why can't that city just figure out traffic?
Oh, literally?
Like,
Well-
it's ridiculous anytime you try driving through Chicago, no matter what time of the day it is. Like-
Why did the northern Wisconsin cities like Appleton, Green Bay all have roundabouts so
that's-
frequently from each other?
It's because, circles.
Circles. Well, it's one circle that the exits into another circle that exits into another circle. So I have to go through 3 roundabouts before I can even get on the highway.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I just give up. Like, I'll try to whenever when you try to plan it out, like, oh, if I leave at this time, I'll get to the city at this time. You're just like, wait, never mind. There's no point.
No point in me trying anymore.
This is gonna just.
I'm
be
just trying to
nothing
find
but
like.
Just,
Oh, sorry, I'm mumbling. I apologize.
no, you're all good.
Wait, Mark, you want to hear about a travesty that happened to me today?
Yeah, what do you got?
My nail fucking broke.
So it's
That's
going to be about. So it's going to be about with an hour layover. So I'm going to be leaving at 4 p.m. and I'm going to be there at about 7. But it looks like. Yeah, it's going to be about roughly. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be about. Probably about. It's actually honestly about 2 hours or something. But it's 3 because I have a layover.
Got it.
So it's about 2 hours from where I'm flying. So I'm not worrying.
Yeah, I mean that's not crazy, but hopefully it can go pretty smooth and you're able to get to. Hopefully it doesn't. I have heard that it rains a lot in Boise, so hopefully.
Well, my contacts have said it's like been cold at night, but it's been pretty warm. And it's weird because I checked the weather because it was supposed to be like butt ass cold. Okay, so to us Californians, we're pussies. I admit it.
I was about to ask you, what is butt ass cold to you?
Well, also
50, 55.
48. It was going to be 48. And I was like,
It's
48.
currently 35, and I went out without a winter jacket.
yeah, see, that's the thing. You guys go in the negative. For me, it's like we barely go in the negative in California. Like maybe the coldest we've ever had on a fairly regular basis is like 42. We don't get snow in a lot of areas in LA and in California in general. I mean, maybe in the way northern parts of California. Yeah. And so I probably will be and also like I lost because as I was telling you what was happening earlier with my pancreas, I lost like over 50 pounds. So it's like, yeah, you're kind of like, because the pancreas like slowed down my metabolism and kind of messed with all sorts of things.
Uh-huh.
So I ended up being cold as fuck. Like before it would be like 60 degrees and I'd be walking around in my old weight and I'm like, it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool, but whatever. And after I'd lost all the weight, I walked out. I'm like, why the fuck am I so cold? I'm like, oh, well, so I had to go in and get a jacket. So it's like the body fat on me is like almost nothing.
I was going to say, there's no meat on the bones to keep you warm.
Yeah, like I try to build up muscle because that actually like helps with the warmth. But other than that, like my circulation's good, but it's just, I don't like literally like I could pull things down. Like there was this truck that kind of pulled the Endeavor like to the California Science Center, the shuttle. I try to grab it and I try to pull it down through the fulcrum because they have this science thing set up. I couldn't do shit. I was too light. It's like, damn it, dude. So much for being fucking Wonder Woman.
And you've destroyed one dream.
Yeah, it made me cry. Whatever. A lot of things do. But,
I mean, sometimes I mean, at least you're doing like the other stuff that you mentioned didn't happen. So
Right. You live to tell the tale.
right.
yeah. I mean, also, I'm just like way healthier and I have more energy. I mean, I may not look like it right now, but I just had a 3-day con where, like,
Yeah, no, con crud is legit a thing.
yeah. I mean, I'm not sick. It's just more of I'm exhausted because, like, selling takes a certain amount. On top of that, I was pushing the Kickstarter and it
Yeah.
felt like I wasn't doing very much, but because I had a QR code, but people still fucking gave it the Kickstarter. That was real
That's
nice.
good.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Somebody
And
gave, like, I think at the Kickstarter today, $45. So I can hardly wait until more comes.
Woo.
there you go.
Yeah.
And we'll be. I know it ends. What's the end date again? I know
May
I.
May
6th.
6th. May
Yeah.
6th.
So we'll try to share this at least once a week or so, at a minimum, up until May 6th. Try to help out a little bit.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Is there other places that, like, if people want to follow like your kind of comic stuff, like with future projects and stuff that's currently going on, do you have like any sort of like main social media that you use for fans or anything like that?
Well, I have a link tree that has all access to everything, but it's on Webtoon, and the Webtoon link is in the link tree.
Okay, and
Yeah.
we'll make sure, Sam, it's in the private chat. So if you want to
Yes.
grab those, we can.
I
make
tried
sure
to comment the link tree, and I don't have the ability to write a comment
You don't?
in regular comments, not private chat.
Oh, that's weird.
That's what I'm saying, because I was gonna put the link tree while you were gone in the comments, and
Right.
I could not.
Okay. Okay. I'll just give you the login stuff later today,
Okay.
and that way you can make rooms and stuff too. So.
It seems like Justin's gonna go insane with this fucking like thing. I think he wants the date with Demon Bitch amongst other filthy things.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he does. I know him. He does.
He said I have to leave, and then when
Yeah.
I lied, I'm back again.
Yeah. That's pretty much what he does. I mean, that's why I do the other podcast with him, because we can't rely on him for anything.
Is he a filthy fuck?
He is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I always
all are,
write-
let's be honest.
Yeah, I write rude notes like when I fucking do the Kickstarter and everything because it's like when people pledge, I said, "Oh, thank you." Now I have to throw the bitch out of my house.
Yeah, it makes it. I think, like I said, I think it makes it more unique than just like the, hey, thanks for donating. Like there's like a big Kickstarter that is like these guys like Viva La Dirt League. They do like D&D and nerdy skits and stuff like that. And they just did like a huge Kickstarter for like this big thing, but they were getting so many Kickstarters and so many things that if like friends of mine like donated to it, and it was just a generic message like, hey, thanks for donating. Well, you'll get your reward for whatever tier it was on such and such a date. Thanks for supporting. Like it just like a copy and pasted message, and then was sent out. And I feel like that just like takes so much out of it. You're like, man, I just spent my hard-earned money to support
you.
to support your thing, and you can't even spend 5 seconds to say,
Type out.
yeah,
a
hey,
real
thanks
thing.
a lot. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, something like, I don't know.
I mean, the messages I get from people are really funny. Like some of them respond. So one of them I wrote to this person, they just pledged, and I wrote down, "Thank you. Now I get to throw her ass out of my house. Fuck her." And this person wrote back, "She is just misunderstood. Now I agree. Fuck her. Can't wait to read it."
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes I'll go back and forth in really fucking funny conversations, and people say, "Well, I don't have time for that." I'm like, "Well, I'm busy too." But writing a two-sentence thing is not a big deal to me.
Right.
Yeah, it's the tiny little extra step to make like an extra connection. Especially like you said, when you're trying to build a fan base of sorts, little extra 2 sentences are going to help you versus just.
Well, I mean, imagine
really
like the amount of fucking shit. Like when I read some of the kicks, and I don't want to shit on the Kickstarter thank you notes. I get it why they do it, and it's better than not writing a thank you,
Right.
But
Yeah,
sometimes I'll write this whole paragraph, and I just said, just send a fucking message and say, "Hey, thank you for that. Fuck these people," or whatever,
right.
Just say thanks
Yeah.
a lot. I really appreciate it, and have a great day or something. Just like a little personalized account.
Yeah. No, I agree. It definitely does make a difference. I think it just shows that you're trying to spend a little bit more extra time on things. I know you said you have another show at 5, and I want to give you a little bit of a break because I don't want to make you go back to back when you have like.
Well, I just went through
2
back to
minutes.
back, so I'm like, whatever. I'm just kind of like, well,
I know how tiring that can be. So really quickly, one more time, if people are tuning in or they listen down the road or whatever it might be, up Lincoln Star, because we can literally just repost this video as many times as we want and re-air it.
Michael.
That's the one thing I like about StreamYard is you can literally just upload a video and tell it, hey, at Sunday at 2 p.m. play this video, and then it just does it. So
yeah, fuck Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck Zoom. So we can start doing little things like that. So do you want to just really quickly recap what kind of like Demon Bitch is, what people can expect by reading it, and kind of just like one more quick recap for everybody?
Yeah, basically this Kickstarter is to fund the printing of the book Triggered, which is basically 137 plus pages of bullshit. And what it is that it's the story of me being stuck with Demon Bitch during the COVID times the last 2 years, me having to deal with it. And if people want me to go and talk nicely about the aspects of humanity, no, get a fucking Hallmark card. The campaign is active now. We also are getting a game. We're developing a level for that, and hopefully that will be ready for beta testing come the July 2022. And also we've got a pair of Tamabichi pins with glow-in-the-dark expressions. You can order 1 or 2. And you can even win a date with Demon Bitch, and you get even a tiki-style patch and sticker, as well as some signed prints by Mary Zorlita, or a cute little Animu Demon charm that looks like Sailor Moon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's all fancy. Like, it's going to have the star pin because, like, makeup.
Well,
I actually was never really into Sailor Moon, but I'm familiar with, like, makeup,
Yeah, she. I watched it briefly, but it never was like the thing I was going to go to watch.
That was my oldest sister's favorite thing. So by proxy, I watched it.
Yeah, the voice acting I didn't like at the time. It was like kind of shitty. I hated it because she sounded like a goddamn Valley Girl, and I hated that too.
Well, yeah.
Like, I mean, she's supposed to sound like a young girl. She's 16, I think. That's her age. I mean, she's supposed to sound like a girl, but I just didn't like the fucking Valley Girl shit. That was annoying me. And but the characters, like, I have a lot of friends that really like Sailor Moon. One time I made this girl's day because we did a white elephant gift, and we could spend up to $20, and I found this really cute Sailor Moon bag.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get her a Sailor Moon bag, make her day. She said, I love the fucking bag. She was so happy. But it was a really well-made bag. It was made out of that material. It's like not plastic, not that cheap vinyl, but that woven kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking durable. So, but yeah, Animu Demon is like the Sailor Moon style of Demon Bitch, and it sucks. No discredit to Mary. Mary, it's like when I approached her, she's like, hey, I said, hey, when I first approached her for a couple Kickstarters ago, I said, hey, Mary, you want to do one for Demon Bitch? Or she told me she wanted to do it. I was like, because she does cute shit all the time. So I'm like,
right.
Really surprised. I mean, I shouldn't be, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, Demon Bitch isn't exactly kid friendly. But I think like Demon Bitch triggers this like evil little bit of Mary that she really likes. I mean, she's a sweet person. Don't get me wrong. She's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like,
yes, I will do it.
I think it just goes to show you that everyone's got a little bit of that dark side that
I think, I bring
needs
up
to come out a little bit.
I bring out the naughty and evil in people. It's like, it's basically what's been kind of like pushed out of us, You don't want to admit to yourself, like, don't admit to yourself that this upsets you. It's like, no, fucking admit it to yourself.
Just do it.
Deal with it. You got to deal with it. You got to fucking face up to it. Like, you can't avoid it.
It's going to suck, but yeah, you kind of have to just accept it and figure stuff out. Like,
I mean, you can do more with it than anybody's made out to be. Like, well, this person was an asshole to me. I can't do anything. It's like, no, you can own it. You can just say that person's an asshole. And I think that person should be like slapped in the face for fucking doing it and just admit it to yourself. And then you're done.
Slap them and get moving.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I've noticed when people do that, and like, especially with me, I'm a lot less angry about people in general. Because I think like, sometimes I think that thinking is harmful because sometimes like people repress their shit so much that they start kind of emanating this anger towards everybody. and this contempt towards humanity in general. It's like, no, just reserve it for a few fucking people. A few fucking
Yeah.
people do that shit.
Yeah, like how if Sam gets 3 strikes in any show, she gets kicked out. It's not like
I
hate
only
her.
ever go past one.
You've gotten to 2 a few times. Let's
When
not...
was that?
I'm
So what was
pretty
the
sure you've gotten...
strikes?
I'm
What was
pretty
the strike
sure
rate?
Mark's a fucking liar, and we should. Are we
there's
done?
No, there's no proof. We can be. So I'll wrap up. So remember, everyone, whether you listen to this now or down the road, make sure you support the Kickstarter for Demon Bitch. The link will be posted periodically over the next couple weeks, and we'll go ahead and be replaying this video as well over the next couple of weeks, so you guys can get a chance to kind of just rewatch what happens when 3 sleep-deprived people start talking for a long time. But you guys are probably used to that, being that this is the Phantom Effect. So just don't forget, make sure you follow the Phantom Effect on Facebook and Twitter at Phantom Effect, so you can also find our link tree. We're still working on a couple things.
Thanks.
We got a little delayed. I got busy.
I got busy.
Yeah, but we're getting back to it. I didn't expect Twitch to blow up the way it did, so I've had to
Oh, damn, that's really cool.
I had to like pause and kind of focus on upgrading some of that stuff, because I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this is actually turning into a thing that I actually have to keep up with. So
Yeah.
we'll be back though every week. We are switching back to Fridays for our own personal reasons. You guys don't get to know about it. It's our life.
Yeah, piss off.
Yeah. Okay, do your own shit.
Exactly.
No, you guys seem to enjoy the Friday when it dropped on Friday. You guys seem to enjoy it a little bit more when it was on Fridays. So we'll be back to Fridays, and don't forget, new segment at the end of every month. We will do Fandom Roundup, but enjoy them while you can, because after a few months, they're going to go exclusively Patreon. So make sure you get addicted now, so we can take all of your money.
I like taking all the money.
Yeah. Like, give it to the Kickstarter first, and then give us what you have left over.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
We're fair and equal opportunity people.
Yeah, you don't get a lot out of it, but just give me your money.
You get the pride of knowing I'm happy to receive money.
Right. Which,
and isn't that the most important bit?
That's
my happiness
in itself.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a gift in itself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good about myself when I make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good about myself because I always make a lot of money. See, like, affirmations, they're positive.
Exactly.
But we'll see you guys very soon. Don't forget, make sure you follow us. Make sure you follow Christie's work as well. And go ahead and make sure you follow Demon Bitch. And we'll see you guys on Friday.
Yeah.
See you guys on Friday.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.